Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of GapShap with HP Sajid. I'm your host HP Sajid, also known as GapsWala. And in this podcast, we bring you inspiring stories, insightful conversation, and valuable experiences from people making an impact in their fields. So today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Justin. He is an accomplished director of marketing with over 12 years of experience in areas of such as marketing strategy, brand development, social media management, execution of compelling media campaigns, film production, content creation, creative design services, web development, and much more. He's amazing. His career is marked by a relentless commitment to delivering creative and effective marketing solutions, driving brand success, and achieving measurable results. So, Justin, we are so excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me. I'm enjoying the day.
Right, right. So, Justin, in the start of the session, so I would like you to please introduce to my audience who is Justin, what does he do?
Yeah, well, nice to meet you and everyone. I'm Justin. I am as HP said, I direct creative marketing for very classified projects about ideas, entrepreneurship, um, and other things.
All right. So, I have seen in your profile that you have over 12 years of experience in marketing. So, what inspired you to pursue this career?
Well, actually, I um, spent time in Israel after I graduated college, and I learned a lot about spirituality. And in that experience, I found myself and realized how important it is to be able to show the world your unique gifts.
Interesting. Right. So, when you choose your marketing career, so you must definitely face the beginning challenges. So, what was the biggest challenge while you started your career in marketing, and how do you deal with them?
The biggest challenge is getting the right message. That's the most critical. That's the most critical piece of it is getting the right message. Um, I think it's important to be able to understand what the story is behind what you're doing, and everything comes down to what's your story. We all have unique gifts and creative pursuits, but it comes down to what is the story that I'm telling myself and the people around me.
Right. So my next question to you is that we always, on regular basis, we are talking about AI, AI, AI. AI is everywhere. So as a marketing expert, how do you see AI changing the future of marketing and branding?
Well, I think that there's two ways that I see it changing. One is the messaging can utilize really big data sets to pump out messaging that is more on point with the goals of the campaign or the goals of the person. I think that AI can be utilized to um, imagine different possibilities. And what I mean by that is our brains absorb what's around us, and a lot of what's around us is confining. And I think AI can help us go beyond what is around us and step into a world where possibility is endless. And in terms of marketing, I think that when you're utilizing AI for marketing, I think you can get really creative with the messaging. Um, Sometimes, one thing with advertising and marketing is that a lot of people don't like to be marketed to. They don't like to be sold something. They want it to flow organically and have it be natural. And um, and I think that with AI, you can really utilize it as a tool to help you think of different messaging that's going to resonate with different people.
Right. So since you have experience working with number of employers or maybe clients, so in overall your experience, so what is the biggest mistake that brands make when it comes to the marketing? Do they focus on budgeting or any other things that you think that this is the biggest mistake usually brands do?
I think that they're thinking too much about the brand and less about what the potential is. I think I used to work for TED Talks, and it was really fun because we were marketing. We were utilizing marketing as a tool to be able to expand the perspective of the audience. And this is really critical when you're talking about trying to connect a brand to a person, to a human. There's the disconnect there because the brand is tied to a company, a corporation, a business, and it's critical that the human element of the business shines through. And there are really creative ways to do that, and I think in certain advertising vessels you can get there.
Right, great. So usually we see there are, the young generation, or I should say it's a Gen Z. They are, more into in the technology. And if you talk about the youngsters, so they are, starting their startups on regular basis. So there are so many people who are, initiating or starting their startups, and they have a very limited budget of marketing because maybe they don't have the required budget or the funding. So, what should be the three things that you believe they should focus on in a very minimum budget?
I think they should focus on what the message is, who the audience is, and what is the person going to get out of it. There's a relationship that you want to create, not a transaction, a relationship you want to create. And in a relationship, the correspondence is essential. The communication is essential. And um, it's important to be able to focus on the right kind of messaging that resonates with the person. I think that's really critical. And I keep bringing that up because it's, yeah, I mean, it's like you can't give somebody a pen and say you can write with it without telling them that there's something already been written, right? They can test it out, but usually a person's going to want to know that something's already been written, that something's already on the page. And so I think that you want to be able to give a person confidence that the relationship that they're creating with the brand is valued.
Mhm. Right. So, as you have about 12 year experience in the marketing, so what do you suggest? What are the key elements to a successful marketing campaign? Because if I tell you that today I was talking with one of my friend, so he's recently, into step into this marketing, and he was asking me that tell me something or any kind of elements that should, make a successful marketing campaign. So I told him that definitely today I have a session with a very experienced marketing professional. So I will surely ask these questions to him. So what would you suggest to him?
I would suggest what is the Occam's razor of what you're trying to get across? What's the simplest way you can portray the message, you can convey the message? I think that's the most important. The simplest answer is typically the right answer. So keeping it simple, I think, is the best advice that I can give.
Hmm, right. Okay. So since you have managed so many campaigns in your career overall, so can you share any memorable projects or campaign that you worked on?
Yeah, I worked on a project while I was at TED that was we wanted to we worked with a company that was in the technology space, and they wanted to basically be an innovator. They wanted to showcase themselves as an innovator, and they came to TED to say, how can we do that? So we built a campaign that included customized content, events, and conferences. And we named the partnership the Next Wave because it was about expanding curiosity, expanding your horizons. This is kind of how marketing gets across, is like, how do you expand somebody's horizon? How do you expand someone's thinking? Um, I think it's really important to be able to say, like, does the person can the person have an epiphany moment, like a light bulb moment? I think that's what you want to do in marketing, is you want to create the light bulb moment.
Right. So as we have seen that marketing is nowadays it's very saturated. So how do you stay creative and innovative in a competitive marketing?
Well, I think you gotta look within. You have to look within and say, how are we different? I think that comes down to small nuggets in the philosophy of what you're doing. Uh, I had a call earlier today with a friend of mine who's building an AI company, and he wants to be the biggest AI company in the world, and his mission is really to humanize it, to take away the disassociation that comes along with selling a product or something, or selling a product or service. I think that people don't want to be sold to. That's kind of the key element. And the way to differentiate yourself in a saturated market is, we're not actually selling to you. We're giving you something, and you have a choice to be able to accept it or not.
So I think step away from work for a bit. Just tell me one more things. How do you handle stress and pressure in such a very competitive marketing? I believe there may be a time that you feel very, very stress, or there are a lot of stress and pressure. So how do you manage them?
I'm a spiritual person. I think that stress can be eliminated if you root out where it's coming from. I think that there's two sides of it from a marketing perspective. Is the people are stressed by how much they absorb, and the second part of it is companies are stressed that they're not getting the message across. And I think that there's a healthy balance there, in being able to really, like, connect, really build the connection, make the connection. There's a healthy balance between marketing to the right person, and also um, mm, allowing the person to make the choice to want to absorb that message or not. That's what it comes down to, is in marketing, is um, can the message connect with you? Does the message resonate with you?
Great. So how do you deal with anger?
How do I deal with anger? Well, I try not to get angry. Um, it's hard. It's hard. I've been through a lot over the last few years, and I'm pretty angry about that. Um, I just try to remember who I am and remember my mission, my philosophy, what I'm here to do. Remember that I put in the work, and um, that life, when life feeds you lemons, you just either gotta suck on them or you gotta throw them away.
Right, great. So we always have a wish, when we are in present. So sometimes the thought comes in our mind that if we do this in our younger age, we'll do this or whatever. So if you could get a chance to go back with time and give advice to younger yourself, so what would it be?
I would say listen more. Listen. Yeah, listen. I've had a lot of people try to give me advice along the way, and I've been stubborn.
Right. So let's say if justice is not in marketing, if you were not in the marketing, what career would you have chosen?
I would have been an astrophysicist.
Any specific reason?
Well, I love space. I love exploration. I love technologies that allow the expansion of new horizons. And I love physics. I mean, I love the nature of reality.
Very impressive. Right. So, how do you define success in your personal and professional life?
I think when you're happy with what you're doing, that's really what it comes down to. When you're happy with what you're doing, I think if you're not happy with what you're doing, then you got to find a way to root out where the dysphoria comes and put a stop to it. You got to be happy with what you're doing. You got to be happy, like, you got to find a way to choose your state of existence and embody that and live your life in accordance with the right kind of mission and goals and morality.
Right, impressive. Okay. Right. For example, you are going somewhere and you found an Aladdin lamps. So, what would be your three best wishes that you should ask to that genie?
Well, is to return to my old self. Um, that's probably the one thing that I would say. Return to my old self. The second would be, um, can I be granted um, the timeline to pursue what I'm truly passionate about? And three, just good health.
Right. Perfect. So, tell me one more things that comes in my mind. If your life were a movie, what would be the title be?
Oh, Stargate Command.
Okay, that's great. Uh, right. What is the funniest or maybe the most embarrassing things that have ever happened to your life?
That's a very good question. The most embarrassing things that have happened. Well, I got a run in with the police because I swam in the ocean naked.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I ask, what is the most unknown talent you have that mostly people don't know about you? So, what is it?
Uh, my poetry.
That's great. Really impressive. You have a very hidden talents, I must say. Great. Okay, so one more questions. For example, okay, just tell me the three best places you wish to go, or you already have a chance to visit them. What are that three countries?
That I've been, that I wish to go. Spain. I would love to go to India. Actually, let me rewind. I should say the three best places I've been is Scotland and Edinburgh, um, Portugal, and Israel.
Great. And what are your three best foods?
Three best foods. I love a dish called macaroni and cheese. It's like pasta with cheese. I love ramen noodles, um, and I love tacos.
That's great. And who are your three best personalities in the world?
What are my three best personality traits? You think? Say, yeah. I would say that I'm kind, creative, and empathetic.
Right. So let's take another example. If you could get a chance to swap your life with a celebrity or could be anyone, so who would it be and why?
Yes, Paul McCartney.
And the reason?
He basically defined my childhood.
Great. So can you just tell me? I have lots of questions coming in my mind. So there are another questions like, if you had to survive a zombie apocalypse with only three things, so what would they be?
A can of food, um, money, water, obviously, money supply, um, and some type of contraption that allows me to protect myself.
All right, that's great. So, what advice would you give to aspiring marketer who are looking to build their career in marketing?
Um, yes, don't get succumbed by the narrative of the world. You create your own narrative. You choose your life that you want. It's your life, it's your existence. You have the right to choose it. Nobody can force you into anything or make you become something. It's your life. And that applies to marketing because we all want to be empowered.
All right, it's a wonderful advice. So, throughout your career, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Um, expand your mind. Always push the envelope.
All right, that's great. So that's all questions that I prepared for you, or totally was a few questions were unscripted, definitely. So the Rehan told me you were looking to, create an AI based software. So could you please tell us something about that and how, we can collaborate to make it more attractive?
Yeah, we want to build an AI matchmaking platform, an AI job match platform. It's matchmaking, but it's an AI that allows a one-to-one match between the job seeker and the employer. So it's essentially someone would upload their video resume, their video of who they are and what they've done, their experience, and then that would feed into a system where they would match with the right kind of jobs.
All right. So you have already make a beta version of it, or you will be, start to making the software.
Yeah, we want to make the software exactly.
Okay, all right, that's great. So, as Rehan already told you that we have our students, who are learning coding with AI, and they have expertise in making Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, DSL, and so many other websites clone. So they are good at it. So what we will be doing is I will be arranging two interns for you who will assist you for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week to make AI based software for you. Sounds good.
Yes, sounds good.
Okay, right, perfect. So thank you so very much, Justin, for your time. And again, thank you so very much for taking the time to share your knowledge, your experience, and definitely overall all these things. So it's been an absolute pleasure to having with you, and obviously to my audience who are listening to you. I'm very much sure that they have gained so much knowledge from your expertise, your personal and your professional lives. So I think that's all for today, and we will be in touch to discuss the requirements as well. And we will, will be conducted the regular sessions, right?
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best.
Perfect. Right. So
Okay.
again, thank you so very much, and to my audience, hope so you already enjoyed this session. Until next time, this is HP Sajid signing off from GapShap with HP Sajid session. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep chasing your dreams. See you in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Stay blessed, everyone.